It's frame rate talk time, so you know what that means.
Let me put my mask on here. Let me put my mask on here. Let me put my mask on here.
What's up, everyone? It's Q from Retro Q Gaming, and we all know over the last couple of days there's been a little bit of we'll call it a semi-controversy, because the developers behind Killing Floor 2 have come out and said, no, the game will not run native 4K on Xbox One X. It will render natively at 1800p on Xbox One X. Now, they've also said that it's going to render at 1800p on PlayStation 4 Pro, but on the PlayStation 4 Pro, it's actually going to be 1800p checkerboarded, which makes perfect sense because the Xbox One X is more powerful than the PlayStation 4 Pro. Now, here's the thing. They said they've experimented with running at native 4K, but they said that the frame drops are too severe that they decided to pare it back to 1800p native, and that way the frame drops won't be as bad. Because let's face it, no matter what happens, there's going to be frame drops, and no matter what way you code a game, when more things are happening, more frames are dropping. That's basically how it is. I have a GTX 1080, and my games run at almost solid 120 FPS on the majority of games. But when more things happen, it might drop down to 110 FPS. Yes, that's still a frame drop. The point is, the game will have frame drops regardless of its resolution and power. Now, this comes down to a couple of things. Not the frame drops and all, but the whole issue that everyone is having when it comes to 1800p and Xbox One X, because Xbox fanboys at the moment are melting down over this. They're saying that, oh, Sony are paying the developers to hold the game back on Xbox One, and no, that's just retarded. There's literally factual evidence based on the hardware that we know and that have gone extremely in-depth and detailed with, that's in the Xbox One X, that we know what is in there and what it is and more likely isn't capable of. So this comes in a day and age where we have more and more games that are not delivering on the promises of the Xbox One X. They're not delivering on this true 4K console. They're not delivering on native 4K. They're not delivering on uncompromised experience. They're not delivering on 60 FPS. Because here's another thing. When it comes to Killing Floor 2, the developer said that they want the game running at a high frame rate, but they refused to give examples of frame drops at 4K, the average frame rate of the 1800p resolution, and they even refused to talk about a targeted frame rate, which are three extremely worrying signs to me. Of course, when all this started happening, naturally, people were posting benchmarks from PCs, and they were using it as a comparison for what current PC hardware could do in Killing Floor 2 when it came to settings, resolution, and frame rate. And it's come to a lot of people's attention that even stuff as low as a GTX 1060 was outperforming an Xbox One X in Killing Floor 2. Now, it's going to get a bit more complicated after this part of the video, but I'm going to try keep it as simple as I can. But the point is that if a GTX 1060 was outperforming the Xbox One X, and if you remember a little while back, Mike Ybarra compared the Xbox One X to a $1,500 PC, a statement I personally ripped apart and gave factual evidence against. But the point is, he compared it to a $1,500 PC with a current processor of some sort and a GTX 1070. Now, we know the Xbox One X is underperforming not only a 1070, but it's underperforming a GTX 1060. And here's where it gets even more juicy, if you will, because we all know, based on actual evidence, history, and stuff I've even talked about in the past, that the CPU in the Xbox One family, both the Xbox One, Xbox One S, and upcoming Xbox One X, is anemic at best. It's basically bleeding out at this point. Now, a perfect example of this is just the other day I made a video talking about the Destiny 2 beta requirements and how the recommended spec on PC for the beta is a 6-year-old Intel processor. 6-year-old Intel processor, which is more powerful than the Xbox One, Xbox One S, and upcoming Xbox One X. Now, why is that relevant? Well, it's not just relevant because I can use it as an example. But here's where it's especially relevant. A YouTuber which I have personally never heard of, but someone I follow on YouTube actually does know this person. He keeps up with their content, and he relinked this video. And because I'm a fan of this person, I was like, okay, he usually knows what he's talking about. I'll see what he has. I'll see what he's recommending in this part of it. So what I'm going to do is in the description down below, I'm going to post a link to a video. Now, this video is by someone called OhNoItsAlex. Again, I've never heard of OhNoItsAlex. I've never used any of his content, and I've never interacted with him. But I watched this video, and he uses a perfect example here. He runs Killing Floor 2 at several different versions, several different benchmarks, whatever you want to call it, on his PC. Now, what does he have on his PC? Well, he goes into detail in the specifics in the video, but just to give you a quick comparison, he uses the same i7 2600K that I referenced earlier in this video and in my Destiny 2 video. He uses that processor, that same processor I have in my old computer from 2012. It's just sitting in a different room at the moment, not being used. But the point is, that's the same CPU. And he's using a GTX 1070. Not a 1080, not a Pascal Titan, not a 1060, but a 1070. Again, he goes into much better specs on the lack of overclocks and everything else he has in it in the actual video, which I really, really urge you to watch because it's very informative. And what he proves in this video, I'll give you the quick Cliff Notes version of it. So if you want to see the actual thing, pause this video, go watch his one, and then come back because he will give you the more in-depth version of it. Because it's his video, it's his tests, it's his benchmarks. So what he proved was that with an i7 2600K, a 6-year-old Intel CPU, and a GTX 1070, running the game at native 4K on the highest ultra settings for Killing Floor 2, he can get a frame rate of, I believe the lowest was 39 frames per second, the highest was in the 50s, but he got an average of about 45 FPS. Again, 6-year-old Intel CPU, GTX 1070, native 4K, ultra settings, ultra preset in-game, average of 45 frames per second, between 39 and 50 something. Now, whatever else he did as well, as a comparison, he ran Killing Floor 2, the same game, the same whatever, at native 4K again, but this time, he dropped he dropped the game settings from the ultra preset to the high preset, which is the next one down, because some games have like high, very high, ultra, but he dropped it to high, which in the case of Killing Floor 2 is one step down. And he kept it at native 4K with the same PC hardware, and then he booted the game up. What did he get from there? He got an average frame rate of nearly 100 frames per second. Let's look at that again. 4K native, no upscaling, no super sampling works the other way around. Sorry, no upscaling, no, what was the other one I was going to call it? No checkerboarding, that's the one I meant to call it. No checkerboarding, but native 4K, high settings, frame rates ranging from 70 to, I believe his highest was 117 frames per second, with an average of in the 90s to 100, low 100s frames per second. So he made a very good point, and it reconfirms what I was saying just the other day when it came to Destiny, and just over the last couple of weeks when Microsoft have been continuously damage controlling the Xbox One. What you are getting in the Xbox One is not a $1,500 PC. Like I mentioned, and Alex mentions in his video, you're getting a PC of roughly 5, 6, maybe €700. It'll be the most powerful console there is. Yes, there's no question about that. But I have no problems with Xbox One. We all know that. If you watch any of my videos, you know I don't have a problem with my Xbox One. I play Halo almost every day. Halo 5, I usually play at least one game every day. And actually, probably later tonight, I'm going to stream some Master Chief Collection. That's possible. But the point is, I play my Xbox. And I don't hate the Xbox. Otherwise, I wouldn't have it. And I wouldn't play it. But the point is, you've got these idiots, as Alex calls them, the zealots, the blind Microsoft fanboys, retards like Crap Gamer. really try to keep names out of these videos, but sometimes they just flow out. So you have people like that, and these people are absolute idiots because they ignore facts, they ignore evidence, they ignore benchmarks, they ignore sales data, they ignore exact specific statements by their company overlords, Phil Spencer, Mike Ybarra, Aaron Greenberg, whoever. They ignore all of this when it doesn't fit their narrative. And once again, I urge you to watch OhNoItsAlex's video, which I'll have linked in the description below. And I'm sure most of you watching this video are common sense users. You people know that I'm not here to bash someone or a console manufacturer or something. I'll call them out on their bullshit, and I'm not a fanboy of shit like that. But chances are, if you watch my content, you are a like-minded individual, and you know that these consoles aren't going to live up to what they're promised, or what Microsoft and Sony have promised. The hell, we already know they're not living up to them. But the point is, these people are just idiots, and they need to stop. Regardless of whatever happens, like, is your pride damaged so much just because your box, your plastic box, isn't the most powerful thing in the world compared to something 10 times more powerful than it, compared to something 2 or 3 times more powerful than it? Why does that matter? Get your games, get your box, whatever box you decide to get, play your games, have fun, enjoy it. That's the deal. Just leave it there. Stop stealing other people's footage and calling it a review. Stop being retarded with your facts and evidence and ignorance, and just play the fucking games. So that's it. That's all I can say. Let me know in the comment section below if you are disappointed with Xbox One X, if you're happy with Xbox One X, because if you are disappointed, that's fine. If you're happy with it, that's also fine. Let me know all of that in the comment section below, as well as anything to do with developers having to cut corners to keep frame rate, or games running at better than Xbox, whatever it is, anything related to Xbox One in general, basically, or Xbox One X in general. Leave all that in the comment section below. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Once again, I stress that you do go and watch OhNoItsAlex's video, because it's very informative, and it's, I won't say eye-opening, but he literally has proof and evidence right there. So once again, that is linked in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the rest of the videos in my channel.